Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'll give you guys a moment to catch in. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. We had to restart the stream, so we'll see what happens. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Good. Good morning. I was showing it going okay on my side, so how very strange. Although it is weird, YouTube did my 30-minute notification a couple minutes late. So I wonder if there are things going on. All right, well, let's hop back into it. Time is a-wasting. We've already killed 5 minutes. All right. So, good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. We'll be looking at crime fiction and thrillers today because it was a shorter week because of the holiday. Quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Friday night. Our next sprints are tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. And Mary, good to hear about your show. Thank you guys for letting me know. All right, let me get back to my page here because that got all discombobulated. Next week, we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming, which is still just doing the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Where's your show going to be at again, Mary? What's your venue? Hopefully people are getting more Christmas oriented. All right, first up, Framed in Death by J.D. Robb. I am currently reading this. I'm in the 63-65% range, I believe, on this one already. 61st in the Eve Dallas series, In Death series. And it is set in the art world. The killer kills and then puts them in poses of famous paintings because he's a frustrated artist, probably. All right, next up, another one that I haven't started yet, but Private Eye series I do recommend. This is by Robert Galbraith, the pseudonym of J.K. Rowling. So, of course, they are chunky monkeys the deeper you go into the series. This one is 916 pages. 912 pages. Mary says the show is being hosted by the County Park and Rec Department, and it's in their field house inside. Thank you very much. Good, since it's going to be hot. They are very organized, usually have a good crowd show up. 46 vendors. Nice. Oh, good. Sending you good commercial vibes. Again, this is 8th in the Corman Strike series. A dismembered corpse is discovered in the vault of a silver shop. The police initially believe it to be that of a convicted armed robber, but not everyone agrees with that theory. One of them is Decima Mullins, who calls on the help of private detective Corman Strike, as she's certain the body in the silver vault was that of her boyfriend, the father of her newborn baby, who suddenly mysteriously disappeared, etc. I do recommend this series. It has also been made into a miniseries starring a couple good actors in it. William Kent Kruger has a new one. 21st in the Cork O'Connor series. This is called Apostles Cove. A few nights before Halloween, as Cork O'Connor gloomily ruminates on his upcoming birthday, he receives a call from his son Stephen, who is working for a nonprofit dedicated to securing freedom for unjustly incarcerated inmates. Stephen tells his father that decades ago, as the newly elected sheriff of Tamarack County, Cork was responsible for sending an Ojibwa man named Axel Boshi to prison for a brutal murder that Stephen is certain he did not commit. Oh, that's going to cause good things for family. Cork feels compelled to reinvestigate the crime, but that is easier said than done. Not only is it a closed case, but Axel Boshi is inexplicably refusing to help. The deeper Cork digs, the clearer it becomes that there are those in Tamarack County who are willing once again to commit murder to keep him from finding the truth. I've read many in that series. As usual, I have fallen away from it. I should probably get back. This is a debut novel by an actor, Richard Armitage. You would be familiar with him from perhaps The Hobbit or North and South, the miniseries. He also does a lot of audiobooks. He's got a very good sonorous voice. But now he's writing a psychological thriller. It's called The Cut. You can't escape your past. The cut always reopens. In the sleepy village of Barton Mallet, the old ruins of Blackstone Mill watch over the residents and their quiet lives. Ben Knott and his friends are looking forward to a summer of fun and freedom once their last year of high school is over. The class of 1994 have been through a lot together, but teasing turns to bullying when the Knott gang targets young Mark Cherry. As violence escalates, the group fractures and tragedy strikes. Before the summer is over, one of them will be killed, murdered by someone they called a friend. 30 years later, Ben is an award-winning architect who has moved his family back to Barton Mallet. His girlfriend, Danny, is a lovely stepmother to his children, budding actor Nate and star athlete Lily. But even though the family is happy, Ben has never been able to forget the tragedy of the past, and it's a past that is quickly coming back to haunt him, with the murderer's imminent release from prison. Ben's glittering career is also starting to tarnish, as some shady business deals have put him on the path to bankruptcy. With the killer's parole date approaching and the banks calling in their loans, Ben struggles to keep a grip on his perfect life. End of row one. James Patterson has a new one. He has partnered with Dwayne Swierczynski on this one. Also a name. This is called The $1 Billion Ransom. 5 members of a billionaire's family in different locations, all kidnapped at the same moment. 2 children taken from a private school bus, a film producer and a movie star grabbed at a hideaway resort, a beautiful wife whisked off the streets of Beverly Hills. A patriarch wants his family back. The cash, gold, jewels, and crypto are all ready. There's only one problem. A brilliant, very stubborn FBI agent. Special Agent Nikki Gordon doesn't want to pay the kidnappers, not a dime. Bodies of Proof by James Chandler and Laura Snyder, second in the Smith and Bauer series. It's a legal thriller, it says. Marco Bauer and Allie Smith thought defending James Innes on a simple charge would be straightforward, but when he confesses to a murder, it's clear that this case will be anything but easy. Bound by the law, they can't expose him even when he leads them to the body. Desperate to escape the ethical trap they've fallen into, Marco and Allie search for a loophole to report him, weighing the options of dropping the case or outright defying the rules. But every move they make seems to pull them deeper into his sinister game, and Innes's chilling arrogance shows them just how dangerous he truly is. So my question is, why can't they quit or now say they have conflicting which they've been made part of the would that be making them part of a conspiracy, and therefore they could then become witnesses, get a deal so that they would get no charges for being a witness against them. I don't know. Interesting. Cold Island by Peter Colt, first in the Detective Tommy Kelly series. When the remains of a young murder victim on Nantucket Island are discovered after 35 years, the detective begins to unearth the dark secrets of a community gone silent. And we're going to go a little bit more quickly here because we had a late start because whatever technical difficulties that was earlier. Fallout by Logan Riles, 8th in the Prosecution Force thrillers. 2 weeks, 2 nuclear blasts. The world is careening straight toward the abyss, and Washington is powerless to stop it. One man holds the answer to the riddle. Separated from his team, Rufus Turkman knows the truth. The intelligence he holds may be enough to prepare America for the sucker punch to come, but stranded in a war zone without communication equipment, Turk's options are limited. Dun dun dun. End of that road. In Deadly Company by L.S. Stratton. An incisive workplace satire and twisty murder mystery featuring a young executive assistant who realizes the peril in being diligently attentive to her boss's whims. A year after those deadly events, which it was in the paragraph before, Nicole tries to set the public record straight by agreeing to consult on a feature film based on her story. However, on the set in LA, she's sidelined by inappropriate casting and persistent bizarre script changes, while also haunted by the events of that party weekend with visions of her now deceased boss. It seems clearing her name isn't so simple when the question of guilt or innocence is complicated. Murder in Tinseltown by Max Nightingale. A Hollywood-era choose-your-own-story mystery. Can your sleuthing skills help identify the murderer of a Hollywood starlet? Use all of your wits as you immerse yourself in this murder mystery set against the glamorous backdrop of Hollywood's golden era, set in 1958. We gotta take a look. We're Oh well, it's not giving us any what would you do yet in those sample pages. I don't know, I find it kind of amusing that there are those choose your own adventure ones for adults. Please Don't Lie by Christina Baker Klein, first in the Crystal River series. This is and Ann Burt. It's really co-star, guest star. A young woman heads to the Adirondacks with her new husband for a fresh start, but the past won't let her go. See No Evil by D.S. Butler. This is 11th in the Detective Karen Hart series. Every instinct is screaming at her that something is wrong. Lorraine? The door stands open, the kettle cold, the house dark and silent. Behind an overturned chair, she sees a figure on the floor. Rushing forward, a gasp of fear escapes Karen's chest. Her future mother-in-law will never open her eyes again. ... End of that row. Spider to the Fly by J.H. Markert. A true crime author helps in a desperate hunt for a killer in this dark and twisty thriller. The Girl in the Green Dress by Mariah Fredericks. An evocative mystery about the 1920 murder of the gambler Joseph Elwell, featuring New York writer Morris Markey and Zelda Fitzgerald. New York, 1920. Zelda Fitzgerald is bored. Although she's newly married to the hottest writer in America and one half of the literary scene's it couple, Zelda is at loose ends while Scott works on his next novel, The Beautiful and the Damned. Meanwhile, Atlanta journalist Morris Markey has arrived in New York and is lost in every way possible. Recently returned from the war without connections, he hovers at the edge of the city's revels, unable to hear the secrets that might give him his first big story. When a notorious man about town, Joseph Elwell, is found shot through the head in his swanky townhouse, the fortunes the two Southerners collide when they realize they were both among the last to see him alive. And actually wanted to mention, it says down here, based on the real story of the unsolved deaths of Joseph Elwell and Morris Markey. Now this one kind of makes me sad because apparently they are continuing the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. The author died before the first books were published. Very sad because those books were fantastic. This is called The Girl with Ice in Her Veins. It's by Karen Smirnoff. This might be the second author the estate has hired. Sweden's far north is growing colder even in springtime. The town of Gaskas is buried under a relentless snow. As temperatures drop, tensions rise between a global corporate shamelessly exploiting the area's natural resources and weary locals who have scores to settle. A bomb blasts apart a crucial bridge. Soon after, a young journalist is found murdered. I do recommend the books written by the original author. The Island by Paul Finch. A dream holiday. You'd die to be there. And it has your typical stuck on an island. This is by Paul Finch. End of that row. Tom Clancy's estate has a new one by M.P. Woodward. 14th in the Jack Ryan Jr. series. Jack Ryan Jr. battles terrorists in the disputed mountains of Kashmir to save a comrade. And Whatever Happened to Lori Lovely by Sarah McCoy. A spellbinding novel based on a true story. A beautiful young movie star of Hollywood's golden age gives up her bright career to become a nun. Why would such a beautiful girl take the veil? Was she hiding from someone? Did it have anything to do with the tragic death of her co-star, heartthrob singer Lucas Wesley? 1969. Would this be based on a true story? Would that be the actress who became a nun from Where the Boys Are? I wonder. Interesting. Well, that is all we have for today. Sorry for the rush. Sorry for the technical problems, whatever that was. Mary says, my kids loved the Choose Your Own Adventure series when they were growing up. Couldn't wait for the next one to come out. Yeah, and they had the white cover, didn't they? Some of them? My brother had some. But it's kind of strange, isn't it, for adults? Emily says, hi, all. Hello, Emily. And Mary says hi to Emily. And hi, Cassie. There was a real actress. Yes, Dolores Hart, Where the Boys Are, who did that. She wrote a book about it. I love that movie. I watch that quite often. And Mary says, hope everyone has a great weekend. And thanks so much. Back at you. Have a good show. I hope to hear about it next week. So, again, sorry for the whatever technical difficulties there was there. It didn't show anything on my side, but you guys did let me know there was something weird going on there, so we started the stream over again. And so we kind of had to rush through the list there. There were, about 22 of them there, new releases. So next week we're back to our regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule for a morning show, and then our next sprints this week are tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they go for 5 hours. As Mary says, hope you guys have a very good day. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Hope to see you tomorrow. If I don't, hope to see you soon. Be safe. Read good books. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.